But over the last few years, what we've started to see a bit of are the effects of developers trying to use ground rent as more of an income stream. And in particular, leases that have been drafted and designed to feature doubling ground rent. So every few years, every 10 years, every 25 years, something like that, the ground rent doubles and then doubles again and so on. And one can see how over a period of a 99, 125, 200-year lease, that can start to become quite big. And the problems that those doubling ground rents have caused as those issues have started to develop and as these terms have started to take effect are that long leases that would not otherwise have been assured tenancies have been converted into assured tenancies. So I've already said, when you look at Section 1, this applies where you have a deemed surrender and re-grant because of the variation of the lease, and it includes leases that were originally granted for the commencement day, and there is no requirement for payment of premium on deemed surrender and re-grant. So you've got all of those bits. You can see how if you have a lease with an agreed ground rent granted prior to 30th of June 2022, and then at some date after that there is some tidying up of it, so there's a deemed surrender and re-grant, on the face of it, that would mean that then the peppercorn rent is substituted in. Now, that's not actually what happens because of Section 6. And Section 6 deals, as I say, with this permitted rent when you've got a lease replacing a pre-commencement lease. And that includes shared ownership leases as well, actually. The other thing that can be done is that the landlord or tenant can apply to the tribunal under Section 15 for a declaration as to the effects of Section 7 on the lease. And Section 7 is that which sets out effectively only a prohibited only a permitted rent can be recovered rather than a prohibited rent. And there's actually quite a helpful table within Section 7 that sets out the various types of situations that are covered, the general rule, shared ownership leases and replacement leases, and the rent that's treated as being reserved and the period and so on. And it's quite helpful, but it's a little bit complicated. So one can apply to the tribunal for a declaration as to how this works on a particular lease.